is being recorded, all right? The meeting is being recorded. If you have your microphones on, ideally you mute your microphones, and if you have questions, either you unmute your microphone and speak, or you use the chat on the side. I will be looking at the chat, and if there's some questions, I will be answering those questions while we speak. So first of all, I will share with you guys the rules from the college, what they gave to us, how we should proceed now. Okay, how we should proceed now. So I will open. I will share the screen. Present now. Share the screen. Okay, share. Okay. Can you guys see the Word file that is on the screen now? Is it visible? Not yet. Okay. What about now? Is it available now, the Word? Okay, so now it's available. I understand that you guys are seeing it. Okay, so if you guys have questions, I will be answering. Then, meanwhile, I will show you these guidelines. These are guidelines that the college shared with us about how to proceed now on the emergency online teaching, remote teaching. Okay, so the general guidelines are that the teaching should start now in April 12, and will go on until June 4th. Yeah, so between now April 12th and June 4th, we will have normal lectures. But the lectures are, there's a new email that came afterwards that we should not give online lectures like I'm doing now for the content of the course. We should be asynchronous. It means that I should record the video, and and the students will be able to look at the video online. You know, I should be able to share this on Moodle, a little bit like I shared before. The videos on the first part of the course, I will continue to share now, and you guys will be able to look at these videos online from the lectures. Okay. So second point is from June 7 to June 19, it's the deadline for the final assessment of the students, yeah, not necessarily final exams. The grade submission will be before June 21st. The last day to drop the course with the W is June 4th. And the W will not be counted towards the maximum number of times to drop with the W. That means that usually students are allowed to have maximum of 4 W. So now it does not count anymore. Okay, it does not count anymore to that 4 W because you have some flexibility on this period because of the coronavirus. So if you drop with the W and your credit is dropped below 9, you will still be able to continue the semester. So this rule also was being flexibilized. Okay, you don't not, if you have if you're tight with the amount of credits, this will not be a problem for you if you drop with the W. So if at some point you just think that you're not doing well, that you're gonna get a bad grade, or you don't like this online, or you have a problem with internet or whatever it is, you can still, before June 4th, you can drop with the W, and that will not be counting to the number of Ws that you have, and that will not be counting to block your semester. So you can still continue the semester even if you drop. I think this is not going to be bad for you. You should not drop, because now, because of the situation, there's a lot more flexibility with regards to the grades that the student can have. So I don't think anybody will complain now about the grades being too high due to the situation of the coronavirus. Does not mean that I'm going to give free grades for you guys. You have to earn your grades still, but there's not like an issue now that's going to be with regards to the if the average is too high, then there's not going to be complaints from the department, most likely. Okay. So Moodle is the default online teaching. I could be using other ones like Google Classroom, for example. I like better than Moodle, but we already had Moodle before. It was already the standard. So now it will be already continue using it. We can use additional platforms, but I think it will be only making it more confusing. So I think we could just continue using the Moodle, and you guys have to go in the Moodle and check the Moodle regularly. Okay. All the assignments that you're going to have now will be uploaded on the Moodle, which means that if there is any complaint, it will be registered exactly what you submitted on the Moodle, and whatever was the criteria that was used for grading will be, everything will be on the Moodle. So there is no ambiguity on this, in this sense. Okay. So, all right. Okay, this is all the information that you guys need to know. There is more information for us, yeah, about how to use the Moodle and etc. etc. But this is the information that you need to know for the general guidelines for emergency remote teaching. So how is it going to work for our course? Yeah. So how is it going to work for our course? So first of all, the first thing is the attendance. Okay. The first thing is the attendance. So the attendance, how will it check the attendance? The attendance will be the attendance. By the way, the attendance is not a criteria for failing the course anymore. Yeah, we've been recommended to release this, but we were recommended that we keep track of the students. If there is a student that is absent from the course and is not checking the material, is not responding for the assignments, we should report the student, so the college will have the student being released with a W. But overall, if you come one class, if you don't come on another class, this is fine. This is not going to be an issue. But the attendance, I will check the attendance. What I ask you to do is, for the attendance, is on the videos on YouTube, on the YouTube videos, add your name and ID, and if you have, you add questions also. So every class I will upload this class as a video to YouTube. Okay, so I want you to go on that video in YouTube. The way I looked at that I will see that you went on the video on YouTube is that you go on the comments and you place on the comments your name, ID, and any questions that you have. Okay, and then the questions, I will make a new video answering the questions. If in 1 week after I upload the video, I will make another video answering the questions from the previous video. The second thing that I will check, this is for the Sunday lecture. I will upload every Sunday one video to YouTube. The video from this Sunday I already uploaded. Okay, this is the video from this Sunday now. So it's already soil fungi. It is here on YouTube, and it's already on YouTube. Today's video is, I will put this on Moodle also. Okay. Additionally, I will give you one assignment every week. Okay, and the assignment will be given on the Moodle. So one assignment per week. And if you respond the assignment, it means that that will account for the lab. Okay, that will account for the lab, the lecture 215 on the Wednesdays. So 1 assignment per week. So here I already placed on Moodle the assignment for this week. The assignment is soil fungi. So I ask you to please write 300 words about soil fungi using your own words. When writing this assignment, consider the taxonomic diversity, importance, functions, and metabolism of soil fungi. This assignment must be completed before 19th of April 2020 and will be part of your grades, partially substituting the second exam marks. Please upload the text directly to the Moodle and not a file, okay? This assignment is individual and plagiarism will be checked for. So there's going to be a grade for plagiarism and for English writing, but actually the grade that you're going to receive is going to be based on the content, what you add. You know? It's just a general open assignment. You just have to write a short essay, 300 words, about soil fungi using your own words. You know, maximum 300 words. Yeah, it's not, doesn't have to be 300, but ideally over 250. If you just use 50 words, that will be against you also. All right, so let's go back, and if you have any questions, by the way, just type them. Yeah. If you write in a Word file, there's a question here for N7 AH. If you use a Word file, then you can copy from your Word file and paste on the Moodle. Okay. If you copy your Word file, if you write on your Word files, then you copy from your Word files and paste on the Moodle. So this will be going to be pasted on the website. This way will be visible afterwards, not only if you download the file, but it will be visible just looking at the Moodle site. All right, so this would be the assignment. Every week, with respect to the lecture of the Sunday, you are going to have to just write a few words about it. Yeah, and it has to be your own words. If you use something that is on the internet, or if it's similar to what the other student did, that will be immediately flagged out by the software, which is on the Moodle. And if it's flagged out, it is plagiarism, then you'll receive a low grade for it. Okay, so let's go back here. So the assignment will be 1 per week, yeah? 1 assignment per week. And that will be accounting for the second exam. Account for the second exam. So there is not going to be a second exam. These assignments will be the grade for the second exam. Yeah. No, you cannot copy from the slides, not copy pasting from the slides. You have to explain with your own words. Yeah. Try to use your own words, explain it. And you will have time. You can ask somebody to check if you want to just check your English or whatever it is. You can show that for your friends if you want. But what I want to warn is if they are the same thing, if they're repeating text from one student to another student, that will be immediately flagged, and that will be, of course, downgraded. Yeah, they will be downgraded. So you need to use your own words for that. It's not a long assignment. It's only 300 words per week. And it's just that you just show that you looked on the slides, and then you make an abstract out of it. Yeah, make an abstract. Talk about what it is. And then you can even make critiques or about the approach or whatever you want to do. You can use that to express what you think about the subject. Okay. And it's actually what I want you is to make an abstract from the lecture that shows that you watch the video and you look at the slides, and that will account for the second exam. So there will be the marks from the second exam. And I will talk to you a little bit how I'm going to mark this. Yeah, how I'm going to mark these assignments. How I'm going to mark them will be the best answer will be an A. The worst answer will be a C. Okay. Nobody's going to receive less than a C on these assignments. The best answer, if you do not answer, of course, it's not going to be a C. It's going to be an F. Yeah. But if you answer, the worst answer would be a C. The best answer would be an A, and I will rate them in between. You can have 10 A's. It doesn't mean that, you know, if they're equally good, the 10 it's equally good, they will have 10 A's, or it could be 1 A and 10 C's at the same time. Okay. Just that the best one will be an A, the worst one will be a C, and I will do the curving in between them. I will compare your answers, and the best answers will be A. If I find that that the answers are very good, of course, nobody will receive a C. Yeah. If I find that the answers are very good, all very good, nobody will receive a C. But if I find that there is something that will be below a C, C is going to be the minimum. Okay, C is going to be the minimum in these assignments. This is how I'm going to mark them. Yeah, one assignment per week, and all the assignments together, the grades will account for the second exam, which is 20%. So the project is gone. Yeah, the project is gone, and the project would be 10% of the mark. The project, we're not going to be able to do the project because the project was in the lab, and there's no way we can do the project. So what I want you to do is you're going to write 3,000 words using at least 20 citations about the effects of soil salinity, on soil microbes. Yeah, of salinity on soil microbes. This will be, these 3,000 words will be the project. Okay, no need for making presentations anymore. No need for analyzing data anymore. It's a literature review. Yeah, the project will be literature review. And review the literature that you will find with your group, still the same groups. Yeah, and you're going to review the literature and you're going to write with your groups 3,000 words about the effect of soil salinity on soil microbes. Okay, and of course you will consider the function, and you will consider the taxonomic diversity, and and metabolism, changes in metabolism. The final exam. Okay, so we are clear now. The project will be this 3,000 words literature review, which will be done in groups. Yeah, in groups. And the assignments will be individual. Yeah, the assignments are individual. So the final exam. So these assignments will be substituting the second exam. The project will be substituted by this literature review, and will be done in groups. And the final exam will be a Moodle quiz. Yeah, Moodle quiz. So to practice this Moodle quiz, I'm going to prepare a Moodle quiz. And we're gonna make one that will not be graded. Okay. Oh yes, there is more questions about the project. Give us instruction of the project. Okay. Okay, what should be included on the project is a literature review. Yeah, you're gonna look at papers. You're gonna look at papers that there are. There's somebody wanting to join here. Let me accept. You're gonna look at papers that are on the area of the effect of soil salinity on soil microbes. Okay, and you're gonna write this like you're writing a chapter of a book. No? Imagine that you are writing a chapter of a book. You're gonna try to explain what is happening on the soil when the salinity increases. If you have low salinity, how are the microbes? How is the function of the microbes? When you increase that salinity, what happens with those microbes? There are many papers on this area, so you're going to have to search literature online, and then you can send by email each group. Say we are using this. We are using this. What happened here? It closed. Oh my God. Something happened with my PowerPoint. Let me try to find it. Anyway, I will add this information to Moodle. Yeah, I will add this information to Moodle, and oh yeah, it's here. It's here. Okay, it's here. So the project it's like scientific research, but not the sort of reports that you do when you report data. I want you to report like it's a literature review. Okay, you're gonna make an introduction, and then you're gonna divide it by topics. Yeah, you can divide topics. For example, you can divide topics like what is the effect of salinity on the amount of microbes, the biomass. What is the effect of salinity on the respiration? You have paragraphs, write paragraphs about different things, and you use the information from the papers that you read. Okay, you're going to read papers about this, and you're going to use the information, and you're going to summarize this information, discussing about it. You're going to discuss what happens if you increase salinity. Normally, you increase this type of microbes, you decrease that type of microbes. What happened with the function? Maybe the carbon decomposition goes down, goes up. In this situation, in that situation, maybe one paper says one thing, the other paper says another thing. As paragraphs, you have 3,000 words as paragraphs, using at least 20 citations. Yeah, the citations should be done as you do it on the scientific paper. And you're going to write this literature review about the effect of soil salinity on the microbes. So the groups that were already doing the project on salinity, this is the same thing. You will be doing discussion, you'll be doing introduction from your project. This is just continue doing that, but will not be reporting data anymore in methodology. Now what you're only going to do is the sort of things that you would do on introduction and in discussions. So I want you to write 3,000 words about the effect of salinity on soil microbes. And this will be a group, yeah? Sorry, Salma, I don't understand what I prefer you should present it with an example on Moodle. I can open for you, for example, a literature review now. Yeah, if I will open a literature review, for example, one that I wrote, and it's published. And you can see, well, there are many literature reviews online. If you just search review soil salinity, let me do that right now. Yeah, let me do that right now. And let's do this here. So Google Scholar, yeah, have you guys know about Google Scholar? So let me do this here. Okay, Google Scholar. Can you see my screen? I will put that online also. So you can, if you go here, review soil salinity, you will find a lot of reviews, yeah? There is, the first one here is vesicular or arbuscular mycorrhizas in soil salinity. So you're gonna, if you open this, you're gonna see a lot of things, how it, you know, how it, they're the type of discussions that they're making here, and how they use the references also. Okay, so you can go and use these as the scientific literature as a reference. Yeah, the treat of soil salinity. If you go here, soil salinity microbes, yeah, and then you salt effect on microbial decomposer community and the role in organic carbon cycle. Okay, there's a lot of papers. There are many papers. I want you to look into at least 20 papers. Okay, at least 20 papers like these ones here that you're looking. At least 20 papers, and use them to write your project. So the deadline for you submitting this is the June 4th. Yeah, it's the last day of of classes. So June 4th, you have to submit this. Okay, so the project here, submit before 4th June. Right. Assignments. And here you have 1 week to complete. Yeah, 1 week to complete. All right. Any more questions about the project and about the assignments? We can talk about that again before the submission. Yeah, we can talk about this, the assignments and the project before submission. So if you have any doubts, we can make a session of having this answering these questions. Yeah? Answering these questions. So the last thing that we have to look at is how the final exam will be. So the final exam, after we finish this in the 4th of June, I will make available on Moodle. I will make available on Moodle. I will show you here on Moodle. I will make available a quiz. Yeah, a quiz. And sorry here. So I will make available, it will be a Moodle quiz. Final exam will be a Moodle quiz. You will have a limited time to answer each question. You will go online, you will go enter the Moodle, and you're gonna start the quiz. When you start the quiz, then you're gonna have question 1. You're gonna have, let's say, 5 minutes to answer question 1. After those 5 minutes, that question expires. And whatever you answer there is done. Then it's gonna be question 2. There's a pause, 10 seconds pause, and then question 2 opens. And then you're gonna have a certain amount of minutes to answer that question. So it's gonna be a Moodle quiz, and we're gonna make a trial, yeah, trial practice. Before we go for the final exam, we're gonna, before the 4th of June, we're gonna make a trial practice of a Moodle quiz. Yeah. When you make this practice, then you're gonna have questions, you're gonna have complaints, and you're gonna consider your questions and complaints when doing this Moodle quiz. This Moodle quiz will be available for a certain amount of time. So let's say I will make it available for 2 days. But when you go online and you start answering the Moodle, you cannot go online again later and finish it. You have to go through the quiz from start to end. And when you finish, I'm gonna receive it, and I will be able to grade it. And you're gonna receive your grades also from that. So this will be equivalent to the final exam. So 40% of the marks will be the Moodle quiz. Yeah, this of course I will make it exactly from the PowerPoints. Yeah, this will be from the PowerPoints. The Moodle quiz will take the content from the PowerPoints, and you should study the PowerPoints so you make the final exam. And the online lectures that I'll be uploading on YouTube and in Moodle. So it's just like an exam, only that will be simpler and will have limited amount of time for each question. And then we're gonna make a practice of this, and then we're gonna discuss this. Okay, I will open one quiz and on Moodle before the end of these lectures, and then you're gonna be able to have a try and evaluate. It's just like an exam, but you're gonna do it from your home. Why is the reason? Oh, sorry. Why is the reason that there is gonna be a limited amount of time on the questions? Is because that if you are given a limitless amount of time, you're just going to Google and answer every questions using whatever you Google online. But if you have a limited amount of time, then you're going to have to use that limited amount of time to answer from your head. Okay, you can still Google, but if you take too much time, you're just gonna miss the question. Okay, you're gonna miss the question. You're gonna have limited amount of time to answer that. So you can still go online. If you find the information quick, good for you. If you don't find the information quick, then will be you're probably gonna miss that marks. Okay. So now I'm gonna modify this. This is what it was before. Okay, this is what it was before, the grade assignment. So you already have exam 1. 20%, okay? You already have exam 1, 20%. This is done. What I'm promising you now is the grade that you will receive on exam 1 will not be lowered. Yeah, whatever you do now, you're not gonna receive less than you got on exam 1. Because this for me is the most realistic of the evaluations. Okay, the exam 2 will be the assignments. Yeah, exam 2 will be assignments, weekly assignments. The final exam will include all material. Yeah, the final exam includes the whole course as always. Yeah. The type of questions that will bring on the open quiz will be open questions, only open questions. Okay, open questions asking for you to explain this figure, for example, or define a concept. What is the relationship between something and something else? This is for the final exam. And it will include all material. So this is the final exam, okay? So final exam will be 40% and will be final exam will be a Moodle quiz, and we're gonna have a practice. Yeah, we're gonna practice the Moodle quiz before the final exam, so you know how to use the tool. So it's not gonna be something that you're gonna be complicated when you have to do it at the end. The practice will not be graded. The practice will be only for you to know how it works. The lab reports, Butaina gave me the grades already. I will share with you. Yeah, lab reports will account for 10%. Yeah. So the lab reports 10% as it was going to be. And the project now is going to be the literature review. Project will be literature review. That would be another 10%, okay? 10%. No presentation, nothing else, okay? So this is it, yeah? So here it goes, all the marks that you need. You're gonna have exam one, you already done it. The lab reports you already have, so you already have 30%. So the exam two will be substituted for the weekly assignments. And the final exam will be a Moodle quiz. Let me see the questions. How many quiz do we have for the final exam? Only one, yeah? Only one quiz. It's gonna be a 2 hours quiz that you're gonna have. When you start, you will have 2 hours to finish. You can finish earlier, of course. But if you will have like 5 minutes for one question, 5 minutes for another question, until you have 2 hours to finish it. And then you're going to have to be writing on the Moodle directly on the Moodle webpage. You can use it even from your cell phone, but of course, if you have a computer, it's much better. Yeah, if I make multiple choice question, it will be something that will be harder and it will decrease the grade. You remember the first exam that everybody was complaining about the multiple choice questions. If I make open questions, it would mean that the grades will be better. Yeah, the final exam will be, we have to see the date that they will assign for us, but it will be after the 4th of June. And if I make multiple choice questions, it will be harder. So I believe it's better for you guys if I make open questions. I can make some multiple choice questions, but there's no second chance. Once you click, your response is done, it's final, okay? Once you click the multiple choice question, that is it. Then you move for the second question. And then there's no coming back and altering it, okay? So it's gonna be harder if I have multiple choice questions. It's better to have open questions because then I can be more lenient with your answers. Okay, be more lenient with your answers. But this 40% is the grade that is usually assigned for the final exam. This is 40% is too high, but it is what it is. Yeah, it is what is the regulations from the university. The 40% for the final exam is regulation. You prefer to write answers, scan it, and send it as a PDF. You want to do it like a handwritten, but this is not very practical. Yeah, not very practical for the since you are already doing this online. It's better that you write online. You can edit it. Yeah, your answer. If you finish your answer and then you don't like it, you can edit it. It's better than writing by hand. These are discussive. The type of questions are not like, you know, which one is higher. The type of question is discuss the effect of this on that. What is the relationship? Yeah, this type of question that you have to use your knowledge. It's exactly like an open book exam, just that you have to answer online. You will have every material that you have in front of you. Every material that you have, you're going to have in front of you to answer the exam, but you have a limited amount of time, okay? You have a limited amount of time. The rationale behind an open book exam is you can consult as much as you want, but you have a limited amount of time. If you just go on and on forever, this will take 3 days to finish your exam. So I'm going to limit it, depending on the question, I will limit the amount of time that you have to answer that question. And you will have to, whenever the time is done, the next question will appear and you will be able to continue your quiz. The previous labs reports, question from Alzhara, will count for 10%, as it always was going to be, yeah? The previous labs reports, Butaina already marked them and she sent me the marks. These are 10%, these are already done. There's no change in them now, okay? No lab reports anymore. The other part of the practical was going to be the project, but the project, we substitute that project with the literature review, yeah, literature review. Yeah, no, it's not a final exam, it's in substitution for the final exam, yeah, in substitution for the final exam, it's going to be the Google quiz, the Moodle quiz, yeah. Depending on the questions, if it's something that it's a short answer, I will give you less time. If it's a long answer, I will give you more time, okay? But the idea is that you will not have like half an hour to read and read and read and answer your question. You will have a limited amount of time. Depending on the length of the question, you will have 5 minutes, 10 minutes could be some questions if the question is going to be large. The final exam will be after the 4th of June, and will be, this is not the final exam, it's a Moodle quiz, yeah? It will be in substitution of the final exam. It is flexible, yeah? It is flexible. You're going to make your answer, and I'm going to correct it. I'm going to mark it as I would mark any exam. You know, if you give a good answer, you get complete marks. If you have a partially correct answer, you get half the marks or 2/3, depending on how your answer is. But what you're gonna have is for sure that you're not gonna have, in general, the grades will be much higher now than it would be if we have normal classes. Yeah, all these assignments, the Moodle quiz and the literature review. What this means is for sure that in average, the class will have a higher grade, okay? And before the June 7th, I will give, June 4th, I will give you the marks that you're gonna make. Oh, let's see here. I have to make one change, yeah? One change. This here, the project, it cannot be the June 4th. Because June 4th, I have to give you the grades. So how can I mark it if you put it on the June 4th? So it will have to be, let's say, May 31st. Yeah, the project will have to be 31st May. So I have enough time to mark and give you the grades before the June 4th. Okay. So here has to be May 31st because I will have enough time to mark them. We'll have enough time to mark them before the June 4th. So June 4th, you will know your grades to 60%, and you'll be able to decide if you want to drop with W or not. Okay, June 4th is the last date that you will have to drop with W or not, and then you will have the 60% to decide that. Okay, you will have, it's going to be in percentage. It's not going to be A's and B's by this time. The A's and B's will be after the final. So if it will be so let me check here. What was the question? So A's and B's will be after the final. So it translates that if you have 93% or higher, you have an A. If you have between 90% or higher, you have an A. If you have 87 to 90, you will have A minus, and so on and so forth. It's going decreasing. I will share also the criteria. But it will be in percentage, and then at the end of the course, the percentage will be translated from percentage to A's and B's. So it's the same thing. It's just that I will give you in percentage, and at the end, this percentage will be translated into A's and B's. Okay. So if you want an A, you need to have more than 90% in average. Okay. No, the attendance will not decrease your marks. It will decrease your marks if you do not answer the assignment. Okay. If you do not attend at all, if I see that there's no student answering the assignments and not going on the videos online, then I will report that student to the college and to Talal, and Talal may take the action of dropping the student because it's not taking part on the classes, okay? No, the attendance will not decrease the marks. Yeah, the attendance will not decrease the marks, and there's not going to be the 20% anymore. That is not going to count. It's only if the student is not coming at all, it's completely absent, then I have to report that. I have to report that it's not coming on Moodle, it's not coming on the watching the videos, and etc. Okay. So I have to report if the student's not coming at all to Talal, and then before the June 4th. So if I see that the student is not coming, I will email directly the student and ask him or her to see what is happening, and then you have the opportunity to answer that. You know, maybe you have some personal problems, or what can I say? But if you are coming sporadically, but you're coming, there's no problem at all. But the assignment is 1 per week. So you should complete the assignments because this is part of the grade. That is 20% of the grades. Yeah. So it means to mark the attendance. How I'm going to check this? Please go on the YouTube videos that I launched. For today, the YouTube video is about soil fungi. So you go in the YouTube video and you put your name and ID, and I will mark that as attendance. Okay. And of course, you will respond the assignment respected to that class. So I will check if it's possible to reduce the mark from the final, because this is the structure that is given. I report you 60% of the marks, and you have the option to know that before you can drop from the course. Yeah, I have report 60% of the marks, and then with that 60%, you have to decide by yourself if you want to drop with W or not. You said a lot of instructors are doing that, reducing the marks from the final. Okay, I will ask. Yeah, I will ask for the college about these marks. You will not have 2 lectures per week. You're gonna have 1 video on the Sunday. You watch that video and you're gonna answer, make the assignment. And the assignment will be, the time of making the assignment will count for the 2nd lecture. Okay, it will be in the position that the lab will be. Okay, so you will have to answer 1 assignment and watch 1 video per week. Is that clear, or any more questions about this? I will check about the percentage, yeah, because how much do I have to report for you? I think it's going to be still the same, 60% before the June 4th. Anyway, with respect to each lecture, when you go online and you watch the video, you can, when you place your name and your ID, you place your questions also. And I will make another video answering the questions with respect to each video. I will make a video of answering the questions, yeah, about the previous videos. So this is how it's going to work the marks. In general, this will mean that there will be higher grades. Yeah, this will mean in general, in average. Doesn't mean that you specifically will have a high grade, but all these changes, and because of this emergency online teaching, it means that the average of the course will be higher. Will be higher than it was going to be before. Before, the target was 75%, 50% of A's and B's. Now, for sure, it's going to be more than that. But I'm not going to give free grades. You have to earn it. If you make your in a good level your assignments, and if you have the literature review in a good level, and if you do the quiz well, of course, you're going to get high grades. Yeah. And of course, if you have that the grades will be lower than the first exam, I will leave it as it was on the first exam. I will not lower more than the first exam, because in my evaluation, the first exam was the real one. So that one, if you lower than if you're going to get lower than that, you get that one. Let's say you got 75 on the first exam, and with all these assignments and everything, you're going to get 70, you still get the 75. I will leave the first exam as a priority because that was the real evaluation, okay? So you're not going to get less than the first exam, but you have the opportunity to improve that. If you do the assignments, if you do the literature review well, and you do the final Moodle quiz, then the opportunity for you is to get a better grade. So this is an opportunity, yeah, for you to get a better grade. All right. Any more questions? So let's we'll stop sharing the screen. I recorded this session. Yeah, I recorded this session, and I will upload this video to Moodle also. So you can even the students that are not here. We have 22 people on the room, but the ones that did not come, they can also watch this video and make sure they're on top of it, of how it's going to be. Okay. N7AH says only the final exam is a problem. It carry a lot of marks. Yeah, so I will check about this. I will check about the final exam. And if we can make another meeting online and we can discuss this, okay? Normally how it goes is I have to inform you, this is up to now what I'm aware of, because these rules are changing. Yeah, the lecture was going to be online like we're doing now. And then they asked me to change the online lecture for having the videos, the recorded videos, asynchronous. And they are changing their mind all the time. But as far as I know, we have to report to you 60% of the marks before the June 4th. So in June 4th, you can drop with W if you want to. And after that, we have the other 40%, which is the final exam. All right, thank you everybody, and stay safe. Hope everybody is taking care and not exposing to unnecessary risks. And hopefully all this will be over soon and we can resume our normal lives and have live teaching. Okay, thank you very much. Thank you all. I will stop recording and I'll upload that video. If you want to ask more questions, I think it's better if you send it by email or put it on the comments of the videos on the YouTube, okay? Big hug for everybody, and take care and be safe. I will, let me see here. Stop recording and stop recording.